Hello, and welcome to the Caim Circle Podcast. Thank you so much for being here today. The Caim Circle is a sacred space, a sanctuary for self-discovery, conscious living, and what I hope, soul-deep transformation. I am your host, Jessa Francis. I am a trauma-informed yoga teacher, a holistic writing coach, shadow work coach, a non-alcoholic beverage consultant, and your companion today on this journey, on a journey to the home of yourself. Today, we are diving deep into a powerful topic that I speak on pretty regularly. Today, we're going to be talking about victimhood, and specifically what it really means to step out of victimhood and into a life that is more focused on self-awareness and self-actualization. Now, I'm coming at this topic from a perspective of a woman that has played the victim plenty in my life. And I teach shadow work. I teach holistic writing, memoir writing in particularly, because I guide people to a place of true, deep self-awareness. And that is what we need, right? Awareness is the key. It is the first step. So if you have ever felt trapped in your own story, where you feel stuck, right? That's the common word. I feel stuck. You feel stuck in patterns of blame, of shame, guilt, fear. Then this episode is for you. So let's all begin by taking a deep breath together. So go ahead and take a deep inhale in. Soften your shoulders and soften your jaw. Exhale, let it out. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, soften and sigh it out. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Welcome to the Caim Circle. Welcome into my space. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So I thought we should start off by kind of understanding victimhood. Let's look at victimhood because, a lot of us, we have been victimized. We have been an actual victim, right? We have had somebody come after us. We have been hurt. We have been harmed. We have been traumatized intentionally, and it's real, right? It's not something we're denying. But I want to be really, really clear in stating that acknowledging pain is not the same as living in victimhood, right? We can acknowledge that we have been hurt. We can acknowledge that somebody did us wrong, right? But victimhood is when we get stuck. The actual word victimhood, like being in that space of being in victimhood, right? That is when we get stuck in identifying with our wounds. Okay, so a lot of times this can sound like life's a bitch and then you die. Right? Life is happening to me, not for me, right? This is happening to me. I can't help it. This is what's happened to me. And we dwell in that space where you feel like you have no power over your circumstances. It's always someone else's fault. We have this really hard time with taking power when we feel like we're helpless, right? And once again, there are times when we are helpless, right? But we can't stay in that space, right? It's in this state of victimhood that our power gets externalized, right? The power is no longer something that is inside. It is outside of us. We wait for something outside of us to change before we allow ourselves to heal, grow, and thrive. So because we're so focused on everything needing to work that is outside of us before we can work on ourselves, we stay in this place of this victimhood. And I will forewarn you, this is going to be triggering. And like I said, I'm able to speak on this topic because I lived in victimhood for the longest time. When it came to love, when it came to relationships, when it came to career, when it came to friendships, everything, like I blame the way I ate on not having, well, I need this and I need that and I don't have access to this, blah, 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 blah. Like we come up with 1,000 quote unquote excuses for staying stuck, right? Because we need somebody else to behave. We need something else to click and work. We need something else to work outside of ourselves. And then we don't stay, or we're not able to get into that place of responsibility, right? So, and trust me, if you're listening and you're recognizing yourself in that place, there's no shame. I also want to say that, right? There's no shame. Everybody does this. This is a very human response to pain, but it is not the place we are meant to stay. It is not the place we are meant to live, right? We don't want to stay stuck in this victimhood, right? So what we need to do, the next thing, is we need to awaken to self-awareness. It's like I said, it's the key, it's the first step, right? So how do we begin to step out of this cycle, right? And the first portal is self-awareness. And self-awareness invites us to slow down. Self-awareness invites us to pause, to take that big deep breath, to observe, to get radically honest with ourselves, and to start asking ourselves questions. It could be, what am I feeling right now? What part of me is not feeling seen, heard, or loved? And a really big question, where am I giving away my power? Right? Like, where am I giving away my power, my ability to honor and take care of myself? Who am I giving the power to? Right? Self-awareness is not about judgment. It's just about witnessing. It's about getting curious in order to witness, right? Curiosity over judgment. And then we witness, right? We witness specifically with compassion. And when we see patterns, when we see our patterns, our reactions, and our stories clearly, we create space, right? And in that space, a choice is born. So this is a beautiful space to be in, the space of choice. And sometimes that choice is scary, okay? Because sometimes we don't want the power. We want to be saved. Specifically, women feel like this all the time. And that's a very normal thing to feel when we have actually been taught through social media, through family relationships, through storybooks and movies and everything else, that we need to be saved, that there is a savior out there, that the man is going to come and sweep us off our feet, the knight in shining armor shtick. And we like the idea, right, of not having to necessarily fix and take care of everything. We're doing so much already. We're we're cleaning and we're moving and we're making things happen and we're raising the children and we have 1,000 things to do, right? We have these long to-do lists, and we need that outside savior to come and help us, right? But we need to get real. We need to really ask ourselves, like, where am I giving away my power by not making choices for myself, right? Where am I giving away my choice in a certain situation, right? These are big questions that we have to ask ourselves, but we have to become self-aware to do this. We have to see ourselves clearly. We have to watch our patterns. We have to watch our reactions. We have to watch our thoughts. And a lot of the time, for the longest time in my life, I didn't really even realize that I had any control whatsoever of my own thoughts. But you do. We have control of our thoughts the same way we have control of our breath. Right? We're breathing all the time, yeah. We're thinking all the time, yeah. But we can actually slow our breath. We can quicken our breath. We can breathe through our nose or through our mouth, right? And we can actually witness and take control of our thoughts and input. We can input new, better thoughts. Right? We have a choice in the way we think and therefore the way we feel, and therefore we have control more of our energy, our actions, our behaviors. Everything rolls from this. Right? So we need to get to a point of self-awareness so that we can recognize, oh, I am choosing to play in this space of victimhood. I am making this choice. I can actually choose differently. I can actually rise above this, right? So self-actualization is the process of remembering. I am not my wounds. I am not my past. I am not my fear. Okay? So that is what self-actualization is. A lot of people think that it is like, oh, I'm going to make myself into something else. Well, what is that? What is that process? How does that get started? I am not my wounds. I am not my past. I am not my fear. It's stepping into a role of creator instead of victim, right? You are the creator of your life. And it's reclaiming authorship. I'm a writer and I help people write their memoirs. And I do this particularly because I want people to see that we can not only see the truth of ourselves through our story, that our story is our roadmap to this self-awareness, to this self-actualization, right? But then we can rewrite the script, reclaiming authorship over our lives and deciding day by day, moment by moment, to choose healing, to choose growth, to choose authenticity, and to choose love. To choose love over fear, because we have these fearful thoughts, right? And then we think that we have no choice but to roll with those. But we can put fear in the back seat. It's going to be there, but it doesn't need to drive the ship, right? So what does this look like? It looks like taking responsibility for your reactions, not blaming others for your emotions. It looks like learning from your experiences rather than being defined by them, right? And that's a big question. How am I defining myself? How do I define myself? What am I identifying with? Right? And it also means living in alignment with your truth. Even, and this is really big here, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Living in alignment with your truth is not easy because we have been programmed throughout our life, through all of these traumatic experiences that we've had, to conform, to fit, right? To do things the way others are doing them. And to shift into a space of alignment, that means, what do we need to do? We have to change a lot, right? And that means sometimes we have to move away from certain relationships, end a lot of relationships. We end up changing a lot in order to get into alignment. But that's your truth. And that's what we need, and that's who we need in this world, is the true, authentic you that is connected and moving forward with love rather than fear. So I want to give you some practices for your journey. I want to leave you with a few practices that have supported me and so many others on this journey, right? So some of those practices are simple breath work. Just like we started this podcast with a few deep breaths, understanding to regulate your nervous system is so essential to help you to help you respond instead of react. To respond rather than react. Like, we take that deep breath, and that leads us to the self-awareness, right? And sometimes it can just be a simple, deep breath. And then there are all kinds of different breath work. If you're interested in learning different kinds of breath work, I highly recommend pranayama, taking a pranayama class near you, or you can join the Caim Circle membership where I teach this, and we have guided breathwork classes all the time. Another one is journaling. Give voice to the parts of you that are still hurting without letting them drive the bus. Journal. Put words down. Whatever you write about, you learn about. Write your story. Recognize the truth through your own story so that you can recognize the way your experiences are having a really strong impact on you, sometimes without us even recognizing, because we're moving too fast to realize it, right? So writing. And then movement. Move emotion through your body so it doesn't get stuck, right? Because it does. It will get and it will stay stuck in your system if you don't move it. Shake, dance, jump up and down, learn the science of somatics, and allow yourself to sway and dance when you're sad. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to run and jump and to move and do different things when you're angry. Like, allow yourself to process your emotions physically. And that's usually exercise, right? And then, so all of those, breathwork, journaling, movement, all of that is available in the Caim Circle membership. And I've created an incredibly holistic experience so that you guys have access to all of these things. And the next one is completely free, nature. Remember, you are part of something bigger, wiser, and deeply supportive to you. And it is out the window. It is outside. It is just put your feet on the ground. Go talk to a tree. Go lay in the grass. Go look up at the sky. Abundance and nature and love, it's everywhere. And we don't pay attention to it. So be with nature, be with your breath. All of these things are free. Breathwork, journaling, movement, nature, connection, all of them are free. Are there specific resources available to you? Yes, absolutely. But you can do this on your own. I don't think you should. I believe that beyond this, what do we need? We need community. And that's why I started up the Caim Circle, right? So above all, meet yourself with tenderness. I say all of this, but meet yourself with tenderness, with compassion. You're unlearning lifetimes of conditioning, not just your lifetime. Your parents and your grandparents and great-great-grandparents, up to 14 generations of epigenetic conditioning, right? This is, I can't reiterate this enough. This is sacred work. This is sacred. You're healing not just yourself, but past generations and the generations to come. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here with me inside the Caim Circle. Every time you choose self-awareness, every time you say yes to your own healing, you ripple that energy outward into the collective. You are not alone on this path. You are powerful beyond measure, and you are exactly who you are meant to be, where you are meant to be, right? If this episode resonated, I would love for you to share it. I would love if you could leave a review or to join the community. Join our community where we go even deeper into these conversations. We meet every Sunday for a sacred tea and truth with deep intention setting. We have full moon and new moon ceremonies. We have space for men and for women. We have holistic healing. So you've got the yoga, you've got the breath work, you've got the journaling, you've got a book club, you've got all of the support and love that you need with amazing members that are there, like-minded, doing the work along with you. I would love to have you inside my circle. Reach out, ask questions, book a discovery call. If you're curious about the memoir writing programs, please reach out. That's where we go into the deep one-on-one work with myself. Until next time, my friends, take a breath, stay grounded, stay open, and know that you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. See you soon.